So here I go on. VGC had an article that referenced a Capcom programmer who said that mods should be treated just the same as cheating or any other malicious modification of the game files. As you can imagine, most people are up in arms, but let us see if his arguments actually make any sense or have any reason to it. So the programmer is Taro Yahagi. I'm going to call him Taro because that last name I may not agree. He has three main arguments. One, that mods are implemented in the same way as cheat tools and other malicious modifications. Two, mods may be detrimental to the company, to their reputation and their workload. And three, that all mods are cheats unless they are officially supported. Now, some of you will right away see the problem here. Number one, his first reason actually sounds plausible. Like, I can grant him that. If mods are implemented, I'm not a modder, so I don't know all the details, but I do know it involves changing the game files to something that was not initially intended. So I can understand that perspective, that want to ban all modification or alteration to the game files. I get that. However, the third reason contradicts that first reason. He didn't say that you have to change the way mods are implemented or that the game should have some kind of outlet or built-in support where everyone can do it. It's still, modding is still being implemented the same way as cheat tools, but this time, because the company officially supports it, cheating is allowed. That is what his third reasoning is saying. So he's now saying that mods should be officially sanctioned cheating, while still saying that cheating is wrong. Cheating is either wrong or it's sanctioned. If it's sanctioned, they allow all cheating. If it's wrong, you don't allow all cheating. And there's a flip side to this on the company, the responsibility of the company now. Because some of the times, these mods fix your broken games. It's not all the time people want some sleuty mods in Skyrim, or want to have some skipping mods in Resident Evil or anything or any such thing. Or in the case of Spider-Man and these woke games, they want to mod out the woke propaganda. Sometimes it's because, for example, the FOV in the game is too narrow and it gives people headaches and nausea. I am one such person who suffer from simulation sickness, and this is why you will never see a first-person shooter being recommended by me in the non-woke game recommendation, because I simply can't play them. Now, if a third-person game, let's say Monster Hunter, has a very, very narrow FOV and requires a lot of shifting of the camera, relocation of the camera, I will get sick. And if mods are no longer allowed, because you have mods to increase the FOV in Monster Hunter, if mods are no longer allowed, it simply means I can't play Monster Hunter. So in a case like that, the onus is on the developer to account for all possibilities in their option in creating the game. So just because it is a new thing to have the camera suck onto the person's shoulder, no. You need to make the game properly with all the relevant options, so we won't have to add options that you neglected to implement. If that is the case, then you need to create a game in which modding is not necessary. And don't get me wrong, the only time I mod a game is Skyrim. I'm traditionally a console gamer. It's only the past 2 generations I've jumped onto the PC. So the idea of modding game is very foreign. It's still very foreign to me. I'm from the time period where you buy the game, you put it in the console, you play the game exactly as developed, you have fun, you put it down. But back in those days, admittedly, we didn't have games that required so much fixing. But that's another story. So his second reasoning, that mods may be detrimental to the company's reputation and workload. The workload I understand, because people will mod the game and then go on the forum and say my game is broken, and then the developer will try to fix the game and realize that it's some mod that they put in. I get that makes sense. But reputation, this is a Capcom developer. And I don't want to hear about you being concerned about reputation when you put a blue-haired black he-she in your game. They try to uglify some of the new characters in Street Fighter. I think it's only Kimberly look alright, and you then it's funny, in their attempt to make her inclusive, they make her have a stereotypically big head and broad nose. So that's stereotypical black character. Which is funny because not all of us have big heads and broad, no, big forehead and broad nose, right? Or Poison, for example. They refuse to simply come out and openly say, you know what, Poison is a female. We had to do some weird funny thing because we were afraid of the feminists. So I don't want to hear Capcom talk about being offensive, having things that are offensive to public morals, because when it comes to pushing some woke stuff, you don't care. So in conclusion, Taro had a point if he was able to be consistent when he said that you want to ban all cheat implementation or everything that modifies the game files similar to how cheat modifies the game files. So once a mod does that, you have to block it. That makes sense. But then he countered his own argument by saying, well, mods are cheating, but if the company allows some cheat, then cheats are no longer cheating. If that is the case, your first reason of the method by which the mods are implemented makes no sense, because the method is okay or not okay on a whim. Then for a second reason, the increased workload makes sense, totally get that. But then his argument of reputation rings hollow, because his company has no problem dipping their toes into the woke thing, which in some circles is a bad reputation and against the morals of some gamers. So let me hear what you think about this. Are mods cheating, and should mods be banned by anti-cheat software?